What's going on, guys? Gamers Goon here today with your Smackdown review. Here today on the 25th, June 25th. Smackdown. It was a decent show. Nothing great, nothing bad, nothing terrible, nothing. It was an okay show. Um, Sorry that this is coming out late. I did get done with my first shift at my new job, so I will be having to attend to that as well as these podcasts. But we started it off here with a sort of a demanding type of lecture from Roman to I believe Jimmy Jey Uso, whichever one, it don't matter. One of the Usos walked out, and then the other one is gonna be having to prove his loyalty, prove his respect later tonight to Roman Reigns. So we've been seeing all along with this Roman Uso storyline. Then we get out and we finally reach the ring for the first time tonight, and we started off with a promo from Bianca Belair. She's just really tooting her own horn. One thing I will say is, I don't know what it is. I'm just not a fan of Bianca Belair right now. Going into WrestleMania, of course, I think everybody was a fan. Everybody wanted to see her win at the Royal Rumble, but something feels off about her. I don't know necessarily what it is. So it just wasn't a good segment in my opinion. Um, she just fell off. Seth then came out to also celebrate his victory with Bianca, but he said his victory meant more than hers. His was better. He dominated and she just got by. Bayley then came out. That led to Cesaro coming out. Then we get a mixed tag team match between Bianca and Cesaro, and then Seth and Bayley. Do I know why this match happened? Absolutely not. I don't know what the backstory. I know that they fought each other at Hell in a Cell, but I don't really know why we got this match. I don't know what the real purpose of this match was, because they booked this going into the. I don't really know what the incentive to booking this match was, rather than fill TV time. And that's what I felt with most of these matches tonight, especially. A lot of it just didn't make sense. It wasn't meaningful. I'm not gonna say it was bad matches, because tonight's matches weren't bad. They just didn't mean anything. There was just no reason to get invested in it. Mixed tag team match was a solid match. It really was. But just I don't really know why we got it. I don't think it was necessary. I don't really think it did anything in the long run. But hey, was it the worst thing we got? No, but it was solid. Um, and then we had Bianca and Cesaro go over. So is it necessarily the greatest thing? Nah, but it wasn't bad. Then we get into what was a really really weird segment. We had King Shinsuke Nakamura, obviously the new king, taking it from Baron Corbin. King Corbin is no longer King Corbin. He is now just Baron Corbin once again. Shinsuke was introduced by Rick Buggs, and then we see in the back that we disgruntled and upset, a regretful Baron Corbin, just upset. What's the point of even doing anything anymore? That type of Baron Corbin. Not gonna lie, Baron Corbin, he's grown on me. Um, he's grown on me. I think he could be something still. I know that it's probably not necessarily a popular belief among the IWC and a lot of the people, because Baron Corbin is a very, very acquired taste kind of guy, and I think he has something in him. I really do. I think you could potentially make a good run out of him, if you don't mess it up like you did with the Money in the Bank when he came out there and he lost. I don't think you need to do that type of thing with him, but I think he still has something in the tank for him to do something special. Will he? I don't know. Shinsuke, will he do something great with the King gimmick? I have no idea. Hopefully he does. Who knows? But let's hope something good happens with it. And then we get to the Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins comes into the back because we see Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville dancing to Shinsuke's music. And he comes in the back and he says, you know what, I know that later tonight we have the addressing of the council, the tribal council, whatever tribal council meeting with Roman Reigns. I am here to tell you guys that I want to be the next guy in line because my resume speaks for itself. You guys don't need to know all my accolades because, believe me, you guys are fairly familiar with it. They were like, you know what, maybe it might be you, who knows. Really didn't mean anything. Then we get into Big E. We have Big E versus Apollo. Apollo and Commander Aziz out there. Very good match. Very, very good match. That's the thing I feel like I'm going to say about a lot of these things, but I don't understand why we got this match. You should not be having Apollo Crews lose to anybody as a champion, as the Intercontinental Champion. He should not be losing. And you should not have Big E in a situation where he can't, where he shouldn't be winning. If you know what I'm trying to say. Because you can't pair him up against Apollo and then have Apollo lose. It just doesn't make much sense. Because that means now Big E should probably get a title shot at that. Rather than build up for what he should be doing, which is potentially getting a Money in the Bank. Or potentially building up towards WrestleMania against Roman Reigns. That's what Big E should be doing. He shouldn't be beating and potentially having a little bit of a claim to the IC title, and you don't want Apollo Crews losing the IC title in a non-championship match. You don't want him to lose and look weak as a champion. That's just not a good idea. So I don't know why you couldn't have had anybody. You could have had like a Baron Corbin come out here and lose to Big E. Baron Corbin was upset earlier on in the night. Maybe he can't come out, have an opportunity. Big E beats him or something of that nature. But Apollo should not have been in this match, and if he is in this match, he should have won and gone on to Money in the Bank. It's much easier to lose in Money in the Bank because you got, I don't know if it's going to be 6 or 8 other guys this year, but it's going to be a different number of guys that all could win. So it's not really making a championship look bad if Apollo was to win here and then lose that Money in the Bank and not win Money in the Bank. Whereas having him lose one-on-one makes Apollo look bad. So, I'm not a big fan that they had Big E go over Apollo. I'm a fan that they have Big E go over, but not over Apollo. I don't think that was a wise idea. Then we get into the section which, unfortunately, I was not able to watch. I assumed I would be able to watch it because I recorded it and I came back from work and I was not really paying attention to the weather or anything like that. And apparently, there's tornado and thunderstorm watches all over central Illinois, north of me, but all over that we were getting alerts, and the news was on throughout about 20 to 30 minute section of Smackdown. I literally fast forward through everything, and I'm just seeing a dude talk about the weather. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? I'm not in Iroquois County. I don't need to know about Iroquois County. I don't need to know. Am I in danger? Then let me figure it out later. I'm sorry. Let me watch my show. So I did not believe it. So the last thing I saw before that was Sonya coming on out. And she's supposed to select who was going to be joining the Women's Money in the Bank match. And I do know that Carmella is in the Women's Money in the Bank match. I don't know whether or not it was set up from a match standpoint. Maybe she set up a match. All I can tell you is Carmella is in the Women's Money in the Bank. So if you guys did not have weather warnings, and you can go back and watch that section if you're that interested in knowing how Carmella got into that Money in the Bank situation, then please be my guest and go back and watch. However, I will not be able to tell you unless they post a YouTube video or unless I get filled in with one of my friends in the IWC. But I'm going to be honest, I don't care enough to ask how she got in. If she won a match, great. I don't care about Carmella that much where I'm going to go out of my way to figure it out. It's not going to mean anything. It really won't. So, I did, however, get to see the main event, which was Dolph Ziggler versus Jimmy Uso. Very good match. Once again, I don't really know why Ziggler is there. I don't. Good match. Felt like it didn't mean much. Felt like it was really just once again getting a winner that needed to win. That's all it really did. Jimmy Uso wins as he should be. I don't know, Jimmy J. Whichever one shows up each and every night, they need to be winning constantly. You gotta be if you're gonna be associating with the head of the table, if you're gonna be associating with the best thing in all of professional wrestling today, that includes other companies, not just the WWE. If you're gonna be associating with the top guy, you need to be legit. We don't need any phonies around here. We need a legit guy. And that's what Jimmy Uso is trying to do here. He's trying to build himself a resume, winning in the main event of Smackdown. And that leads to him going to the back. Roman Reigns really doesn't say anything to him, walks out with Paul Heyman. And Heyman comes down. He starts running down all the people that's ever faced Roman. He said, "Oh, we went through this. We went through Kevin Owens. We went through the Mysterios. We went through everybody. We went through Daniel Bryan." And then he said, "So now, unfortunately, we have to say something because we're left with no other choice. So Roman Reigns, I will let the Chief say it. Here it is." He hands Roman Reigns the mic. As soon as Roman Reigns gets ready to speak, we hear Edge's music. I don't know, man. I don't know. Why Edge on SmackDown? Edge should be on Raw, first off. Edge is a Raw superstar. Edge should. The way I look at it is, yes, Money in the Bank is the next pay-per-view. So, yes, it's probably going to lead to an Edge versus Roman. But how do you get Edge into a match at SummerSlam? Because Edge is going to be on SummerSlam. How do you get him on a match on SummerSlam against anybody on SmackDown? Raw makes sense. Raw, he has matches. You tell me a guy on SmackDown? Probably wouldn't make much sense. The only person on SmackDown that Edge could possibly fight at SummerSlam is Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns does not need to be fighting Edge at SummerSlam. He needs to be fighting him. If he fights my Money in the Bank, fine. I'm fine with that. As long as he is not fighting him at SummerSlam. That is not a SummerSlam match for me. I'm sorry. Yes, a lot of people love Edge. A lot of people think Edge is great. Great. I'm happy. Great for you. But I am not into a Edge versus Roman SummerSlam match. I'm just not. Just like I wasn't into an Edge versus Roman Mania match. I'd rather have had the Roman versus Daniel and the Drew versus Edge. Was their Mania match bad? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'd rather them not be at a SummerSlam, at a WrestleMania. I don't think that's that type of match. I really don't. And a lot of people probably will think it's that type of match because it's obviously two of the biggest names they got in the company. But to me, that just doesn't speak to me as a SummerSlam or WrestleMania match. Between just the two of them. If you had a Daniel Bryan to this situation, then we have something to talk about. But just the two of them, I would save it for a Royal Rumble. I would save it for it could be on a Big Five. It could be on the Big Five. It could be on a Money in the Bank. It could be in a Royal Rumble. It could be at a Survivor Series. But I would not have it at your two top shows. Your two top shows should be the ones that have... I don't even know how to put it. Basically, what I'm saying is Roman should be facing Cena. Edge should be facing somebody over on Raw, whomever that might be. I don't get it. Maybe Edge versus up and coming Finn Balor. Maybe you get Edge going out there against whomever, man. I don't know if you could do it. Maybe Keith Lee. Bring Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Ali. Have Edge come back and start demanding opportunities. And then you have All Elite come out there and say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of people coming in here and demanding for opportunities. I get passed on every single day in my career. I go out here and I don't even get an opportunity at Money in the Bank. I don't get an opportunity at this. I don't get an opportunity at that. Everybody always looks past me, but you come back here and you come out here and you try to make, well, I want an opportunity because I'm Edge. You can build All Elite up in that situation. I don't think Edge needs to be winning a championship. I'm not going to buy Edge winning a championship. Edge should not even be close to beating Roman Reigns. That's why he should not even be facing Roman Reigns. I don't know why Edge is facing Roman Reigns, if that is the case. But before we get on out of here, I did want to finish this off with some news because I'm not getting a news video up tomorrow because I did get it up earlier this week, yesterday. I got a big news video out for you guys. If you haven't seen that one already, make sure you do go check that out. But we did have a lot of news still come out today. We had a lot of releases, and we also had an update on the writer that I was speaking about yesterday. So we'll start it off with the writer. I don't have any articles in front of me or anything. This is just off what I've come to understand over the past few hours. The writer that did leak out that she didn't need to know anything about the professional wrestling business going into being hired. She was released. This shouldn't come to a shock to anybody. You made the company look bad. You made them seem like they don't care about they don't, but you let that happen, Vince is going to kick you. I mean, you should have known what's going to happen. I mean, it's you can't speak badly about the company. You can't make the company look bad in the public eye. I mean, because saying things like that are gonna have people come out there and they're gonna say they're gonna crap on the company for not doing the right thing and not getting people that know what they're doing and doing this or that. That's not something that needs to be out there in certain situations. So I'm not surprised that she was like, "Oh, I don't like to hear that somebody loses their job. I definitely don't like that." Um, but it was definitely something that you knew would happen. You don't go out and you don't speak against the company like that. So it's unfortunate. But sometimes you do it for the greater good. Hopefully that brings awareness to the company, to Vince, to whomever makes those decisions backstage, and they really strive and start to focus on hiring the right people for the job rather than people that just check mark a box. They need to know about the business too before they get into the business. Um, and then we got all the releases coming out today, man. I don't know. I really don't know why today was the day. Um, Out of all these names, I think the biggest ones is probably Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango. Two guys that I believe I would rather, I hope they go together wherever they go. I don't see them stepping away from the pro wrestling business. I believe one of them has a training facility or is part of a training group or something of that nature. I think Breeze is. Um, so definitely be on the lookout for them. I believe having some. They're not. I don't think they'll step away from pro wrestling. I really don't. I could definitely see them in and around it, whether that's with a Ring of Honor, an AEW, a New Japan, an Impact. I expect Breezango to be perfectly fine finding a job somewhere else. And I hope they do, because they are good. They are good, and I hope we see them on an AEW stage or on an Impact or something that is at least televised in the United States time, so I don't have to wake up early and try to watch them on New Japan. Um, if they go to New Japan, I'm sure they'll be fine. It just makes my life more difficult because I actually do like these guys. Um, then we had Killian Dane. Killian Dane, absolutely fantastic in NXT. Part of one of the better factions of the last 4 or 5 years. Insanity. Once again, We brought it up with Nikki Cross just Monday. How Sanity was so good, and then they dropped the ball with her. And that's the same thing with Killian Dane. Part of a great faction with Sanity, and now he's gone. Now he's leaving the WWE. It's unfortunate. But he's another guy that I expect to be perfectly capable of finding work elsewhere. He's very talented. He fits a role whether or not you need him as a singles guy, you need him as a tag partner, or you need him to be part of a faction. He's believable in any of those roles. He can fit any of that bill. He is a very adaptable wrestler in my opinion, and I think he could find some success in some of those other companies. Then we got Arya Davari. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a much of a fan of Arya Davari's work. I could see him probably ending up like in an Impact, maybe a Ring of Honor. I don't expect him to be in those. I don't expect the New Japan to take a chance on him. I don't expect an AEW to be bringing him in. I expect it to be one of those, maybe an NWA with Arya Davari. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he goes to GCW. Maybe he goes to any one of those smaller promotions that don't necessarily get. Maybe he just tries his luck on the indies. I don't know what Arya Davari does. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a huge fan of Arya Davari because I'm not. Marina Shafir. Once again, one of these legit women's wrestlers that they did bring in at one point. I don't really. She doesn't strike me as anything too special. She doesn't have anything to her that like a Shayna Baszler does, where you just want to believe in her being this dominant character. Marina Shafir, I don't know where she goes. For all we know, she could be perfectly well off financially, so she might not even step in a wrestling ring ever again. But wherever she goes, I'm sure she'll be fine. Because it's not like she's bad. She just, I just don't really think she really fit in NXT. So there's that is. Everrise stepping on out. I don't really got much to say about Arturo Ruas. Don't really got much to say. They could end up somewhere. They could. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it's going to be a situation that's a game changer in any sense of the word. I don't think it's really going to be something that anybody's really going to focus on. Hey, somebody showed up here or there. I don't think it's going to be like a Deonna Purrazzo situation where they're going to be the best in one of the companies. They could prove me wrong 100%. But that's just how it is. Tony Nese. I think Tony Nese could go many places. I think he could be very successful. Tony Nese is a guy that he's an acquired taste, but I think he has a lot of potential. You put him in a. This is my dream match for him. You put him in an AEW ring against Jungle Boy. What happens? That sounds good. That sounds good to me. I don't know about you guys. But Tony Nese, I think he'll be fine. The Singh brothers too. The Singh brothers, believe it or not, you guys might have liked to make jokes, make fun of them because they were with Kali. They were with Gender. They were placed with the memed wrestlers, the wrestlers that just really aren't. They're comedy. They really are. The Singh brothers are actually two decent wrestlers themselves. They're good in the ring, believe it or not. Do they have the best characters or a character that could be larger than life on a WWE television? Not really. But you put them on an Impact, or you put them on a Ring of Honor, you put them on maybe even an AEW, I think you can get them over. I really do. Because they're not bad in ring performance. They're really good in ring performance. I think you can get them over. You do the right things. You you book their character more so based off of being good in-ring performers rather than trying to make them into something they're not. I think the Singh brothers could be fine. So they have also been released, and then we also have August Gray getting released. I'm not even gonna pretend that I know who that is. I really have no idea who August Gray is. They made Kurt Stallion released. I did not expect Kurt Stallion to get released. I remember there was some hype about him coming in, and now he's gone from the WWE. Not really sure why. But it looks like we're doing budget cuts again. But yeah, that's all I really got for you guys here. Waiting about 25 minutes here today. I hope you guys enjoyed Thursday's video, which we went over a lot of stuff. We went over the Ryder situation. We went over John Cena. We went over Big E. We went over a lot of things over on that Thursday news video for you guys. Monday Night Raw review, that was up there. Excuse me. And then we got this one out for you, and we will be getting out Monday again. Next it's Monday. And then we're back on schedule. We're back on schedule this Sunday. I will be in St. Louis. I will be watching a Cardinals baseball game. So there won't be any content this weekend, unless there's something big that happens before I leave on Sunday. If there's something big, then I will get a news video out. I don't really. I'm gonna more so push all the news starting from these releases up until next news video, which is next Saturday or Sunday. I believe it's more so going to be Saturday. Depends on my work schedule, but I think it's going to be Saturday. But really, that's all I got for you guys here today. You guys know where to follow me. You look in the description down below and you will figure it out. It is GamersGoonYT on Twitter, thegoongameryt on Instagram, and then obviously if you're on this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you leave a comment down below about what you thought of Smackdown tonight. I thought it was an okay show. It had some good wrestling on it. It was a lot of filler wrestling, but it was good. It wasn't bad wrestling. So that's at least a positive. It wasn't necessarily the most interesting show, absolutely not. But it wasn't a terrible show. It was much better than Raw was. So it gives. I'll give it a half heart. I'll give it an Orange Cassidy type of thumbs up. Not a full thumbs up. I'll give it like an Orange Cassidy type of thumbs up. But that's been it for me. I'm the role model of the IWC Gamers Goon, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next video.